back to another video, and today I'll be discussing the newest makeup announcements and releases. Welcome back, and today I'll be discussing the newest makeup announcements and releases that have been made during the last week. About today's video, I think this is going to be a bit of an eyeshadow heavy makeup news video. There has been a lot of palette releases and a lot of them are Valentine's themed, so that's just a sort of fair warning before we start talking about the newest launches. Also, I'm wearing some new makeup today, or at least new makeup to me, so I am actually wearing the Singe Beauty Succulent Dew palette for the first time, and have to say, based on at least doing the first look, I am so far pretty impressed with this one. I do have to actually say, for example, this minty matte, what is the shade actually called? It is Avonia. So the shade Avonia, actually, this is probably one of the most impressive minty matte shades that I have tried in a good while on the palette. It really does show up actually how it looks in the pan. And something, however, that I'm not loving so much is the foundation today. So I am actually, Lumene came out with a new, this is I think their variation of a new matte finish foundation. We are seeing a lot of makeup brands really either they are redoing or releasing completely new formulas because there's been some regulation changes within the EU. So I assume that is the reason they brought out this new matte foundation formulation. I should have probably guessed because it's meant to be a matte foundation, and considering what my skin type these days is, that this probably was not going to suit me, but I am still gonna keep trying to use this one up and see how I'm gonna like it. But I do think if you are looking for a good full coverage, medium coverage foundation and you suffer from oily skin, this could be worth trying. But so far on a combo dry skin, this isn't, how should I say, exactly a nice foundation. But that is a little bit about what kind of products I'm wearing today, and let's actually start talking about the new makeup announcements. Alright, and let's start going through the releases. So first one is from P.Louise. So this is P.Louise's budget box for February, but what I always tell about these budget boxes is that their release schedule is kind of funny because they usually say that it's a February budget box, but it actually won't ship until the beginning of March. So just FYI, if you're buying this, you're not gonna get this until the beginning of March. Why I wanted to feature this one is that this is actually, I think, one of the more makeup heavy ones, and there's actually quite a nice products in this one. I think the big ticket item in this one is the eyeshadow palette. So it has one layer of eyeshadows, and then I think they have included a mini of their eyeshadow base into this one, and then they also have some cream formulas in this, and you get 3 eyeshadow brushes. And aside from the eyeshadow palette, you are getting 3 of their lip oils. I think they have repackaged now the lip oils, because these used to come in a sort of a packaging that you couldn't really see the shade based on the packaging, but now these seem to have a clear packaging. And then there is also bronzing drops, which I do think is a new product category for them. I'm not a fan of bronzing drops, so for me I think the most exciting part of this one is the trio of the lip oils and the sort of eyeshadow palette. I was kind of going like that. This is kind of interesting me, but I'm still kind of looking at it because I did actually see that the palette in real life is actually quite thick, even though this isn't one of those multi-tier palettes. There's only one tier of eyeshadows, but it still looked, based on the sort of Instagram post that I saw, that it's a relatively thick packaging considering what you are actually getting. So for me this was kind of maybe, but if you are wanting to try P.Louise and you are looking to try from makeup from them, I do think these budget boxes are pretty good, and also you get new releases. They kind of launched their new products with these boxes, so I did want to bring this one up because I do think this is one of the better budget boxes they have. Then the Valentine's release, which caught my attention the most, I think, during last week, and I do have to say I was kind of right about the fact that we might be in trouble with this one. So Ensley Reign had announced that they are coming with a collection, Valentine's Day collection, and I did feature the other palette, but now we have also seen the second palette. So this is the Forevermore, which is meant to be the more sort of romantic light themed palette compared to the other one. And based on the packaging, I was right. This is more of a pink heavy palette comparing to the previous one, which had more wine colored and mauve shades. And this is also very beautiful. Model Shop so far hasn't announced when they're going to be releasing this one. And on Ensley Reign's own website, this is going to be happening on the 13th of February, so just day before Valentine's Day, but yeah, I'm in trouble. Also, second item that actually will launch along with the eyeshadow palettes, there seems to be a face palette coming. They have now done a few collections that they're bringing out face palettes with. I think with their last summer collection they had one, then in one of the Alice Wonderland collections that they came out for I think that was like Halloween season that had a face palette, and this also collection has a face palette, which is a there's actually 9 shades. That's a lot of face shades. This is a blush palette, so I don't think there's like contouring shades in this one. I think there was like 1 or 2 highlighter shades included. One of the highlighters is looking quite glittery. With that one, I am a bit unsure. Would it, for example, on my particular skin type, would I be able to use that one? But I do have to say the blush shades are also looking quite nice. They are quite this, what I'd say, hot pink reddish leaning blush shades. Maybe I could have wanted that pastel shades, considering that one of the Valentine's palettes that is more like a lighter pink themed. I would have maybe expected that there'd be also some lighter pink shades, because all of these are looking to be pretty mid-tone and deep ones. But yeah, from this collection, the 2 eyeshadow palettes are definitely on my sort of like maybe buying list, but I will have to wait and see when these are gonna come to Monolith Shop, because there could be like, depending how the Monolith Shop's next launch is timed, because they just had their first launch during the beginning of February, so I'm a bit unsure, are these gonna be available during February, or will we have to wait until March here in Europe? But on Ensley Reign's website, you can shop these day before the Valentine's Day. Then YSL is launching some new lip products. So these are the LoveNude Lip Blushers, a lightweight matte soft blurred balm. So I think a lot of, I think K-beauty and Asian beauty brands, they have brought out these kind of lip products for quite some time now. So this isn't a sort of revolutionary or new formula by any means. I am kind of looking, because it's a blurring lip balm. But based on at least the models, this looks to be quite of a full coverage matte product. So kind of thinking that is this similar, because NYX came out with one of these like blurry matte lip balm products during last year. It was in the tube kind of packaging, and that was something that's meant to be kind of like, it's meant to like have the hydration of a lip balm but longevity of a matte lip product. So I'm kind of thinking that is this supposed to be a similar product of the NYX one. Well, I do like the packaging of these ones. The YSL lip products are generally like more expensive, and I'm not in a need of this kind of lip product. So for me, this is a skip, but I think these are supposed to come to YSL retailers during our release date is going to be during March, so pretty soon. Another palette release, so Ladybugglow is releasing a Floresta Inverno palette. This is quite of a grungy and deep palette, so for me this is a automatic skip. For me, I'm just not into this kind of color story. It's also pretty like what I would say blue heavy kind of color story. Something I do have to say, the shimmers in this one do look pretty nice. So I think with a different kind of a matte shade combination, this could have been pretty interesting. And I do actually kind of like that it's a bit of a smaller eyeshadow palette, but still, because it's a primarily like blue and pretty deep color heavy palette, this is an easy skip from me. Then something very bougie, so Victoria Beckham has released a new eyeshadow quad, and this is the, what is this one called? So this is the Eye Wardrobe the palette's name, because I thought that the Eye Wardrobe is the general like name that I used all of the quads. I'm gonna put the name into the timestamps, because I think that the Eye Wardrobe is the general name that the brand uses for their eyeshadow quads. This is also what I would say a bit Valentine's like themed. It is more of a purple leaning, but I would say that these are more like not like blue toned purples, but rather these pink toned purples. So I can see for a lot of people, especially if you like buying a luxury brands, this could be a nice palette. For me, this is a skip, because I don't need to buy the Victoria Beckham eyeshadow palettes. These are pretty expensive, and you're getting only 4 shades. And if I want to buy some luxury brands, then I usually buy something from Dior, or then I maybe look into YSL and Chanel. I don't think there's anything that extraordinary about these. The packaging of these one is one of my favorites from luxury brands, but it's just generally the color stories in these ones haven't been interesting for me. Then from Dolce&Gabbana Beauty, so they have brought another one of these big palettes, and they have one of these in their collection. It was pretty, I would say, I think they were it was a mix of neutrals and colorful shades. I think the one reason what people criticized with the first palette was that I think that a lot of people said that a lot of the shimmer shade broke pretty easily in transit. I saw a lot of reviews of the original palette that was in this sort of bigger format, where people said that they had ordered the palette online and a lot of the shimmer shades had broken, so it was a pretty fragile formula. This one is, I would say, a bit different though for luxury brands, because it is actually like, it has kind of like fun blue and green shades, and then we actually have some marble shimmer shades. So I will actually give them credit that this is relatively like unique for what we usually see from luxury brands. These are pretty pricey. I think in our Dolce&Gabbana retailers that sell the makeup brand, these big palettes are close to 100 euros, and I'm also maybe not the biggest fan of the packaging. I mean, I can kind of get it that as a designer house you want to, like, I can kind of see it, but for me the packaging is not appealing. But I will give them credit for this being something different, even though it's not a palette for me. Hopefully they fixed the shimmer formula so that if people can't get this in store and they want to order this online, so I hope now that the shimmer shades don't break during transit, because when you're buying such an expensive palette, you do kind of want to get it in one piece if you have to order it online. Then a Valentine's palette that is actually going to be released same time in Monolith Shop, and actually I think also in the official website. So bellabeautébar's Dead Roses Volume 2, this was revealed during the, I think, beginning of this week, and Monolith Shop did a poll on their Instagram stories asking that do people want to wait for the next like bigger launch, or do people want them to launch this the same time, because I think they already had gotten the stock for this one. And so by the time this video is live, this palette is already available both on bellabeautébar's own website and on Monolith Shop, so the launch is happening on Monday. And I think on Monolith Shop's website they said that the launch is either gonna be 8:30 or 9:30 p.m. CET, so check on their website and check on like your own on country where you live, like what that makes in your time zone. But this is something new, and I'm kind of thinking that this is why I thought that let's see what happens with the Ensley Reign Valentine's palettes, because if this is a sign that Monolith Shop is maybe moving more towards like just launching the products as they get them in stock, and if people are voting for more and more for them to just launch products as they get them, because I can understand that if you live in Europe and you prefer to shop your indie brands through Monolith Shop, sometimes it's there can be quite a big time time in between when the brands launch on their own website and when the Monolith Shop is able to do their bigger launch. So we shall see that is this now a continuous trend as this with the Dead Roses 2 palette, that we start seeing more like indie palettes launching also on Monolith Shop during the same time that they are launched on the website. Of course, this depends a lot from the brand. Some brands are able to get their like products in stock to Monolith Shop's website the same time as their own like warehouse, but with some brands it seems that they can't do this, that they first have to get the products themselves and then they are able to like distribute the products to their retailers. So yeah, but about this particular palette, I actually do kind of like this. I'm kind of 50-60, do I want to get this one, because I kind of like the color story. I like that it's a bit different. We have a fun pop of yellow. It's a bit of a moodier Valentine's palette. But I have the original Dead Roses 1 palette, and I wasn't as impressed with Bellabeautébar's quality, considering that they are very pricey for an indie brand. Their pricing is very similar with Ensley Reign because they use a lot of special shimmers. And a lot of the shimmers in the Dead Roses 1 palette, for me, they were these very emollient shimmers that swatch out really nicely, but they do crease if you are someone like me who has a crease, like eyelid type that some eyeshadows are prone to crease on. So I will have to see what kind of pricing this has, and also this is also why I'm holding up, because now I'm thinking that okay, but what if the Ensley Reign palettes are also stocked during February, now that we aren't gonna have to wait until March, but we're actually gonna get those in February, and then I would say that I necessarily would not have the budget to buy both of these palettes. So this is a bit of a maybe. I have tried to watch quite a lot of like reviews and swatches of this one because influencers have gotten these in PR, but I'm still like kind of there on the fence how I feel about this one. But I do think as a generally for Valentine's release, I actually do kind of like this one. It's a bit we're having something a bit different, and I kind of like the curation of colors this has. Then something maybe not so exciting. So Rare Beauty is, I think, finally maybe redoing their eyeshadow palettes a bit, because Rare Beauty, they did a few rounds of eyeshadow palettes when they originally launched, but I don't think those were really very popular. I didn't like the pan shapes, it was very oddly designed. So now they are apparently coming out with a new eyeshadow palette, but this is, how should I say, I think maybe we could have done like, I get it that maybe, especially if you are a Sephora brand, you kind of need to have a stable neutral palette, but you can do a neutral eyeshadow palette in a fun way, and I'm kind of like thinking with this one that it's okay, but I would necessarily not be buying with this one. And I mean, kind of, we saw especially like Rem Beauty, for example, just released eyeshadow quads, and those quads are Rem Beauty is like a Sephora brand, but the quads are still interesting, even if I could like see that also like a mainstream Sephora consumer would enjoy them. So you can be a Sephora brand and do an eyeshadow palette in an interesting way that is still appealing to the mass market, which with this particular launch I'm kind of thinking that maybe we could have gone back to a drawing board and done some tweaks, because I don't really see this being based on just how the shades look that as something that might sell very well, considering that there's such a big variety of neutral eyeshadow palettes available in different price points, and you don't really have to pay that much money to get a good neutral eyeshadow palette. And then I think we're on the last launch of today. So Maybelline is continuing the role of new products. This seems to be a trend with especially drugstore brands, that they bring out a lot of their new products in the beginning of the year. So this is an oil in gel twist pen. I do have to say the packaging looks a bit scary. Like this looks almost like a medical device or something. So that's already kind of like making me that maybe this isn't for me. So is it a lip oil or a lip gloss? Indulge your lips in the ultimate fusion of care and shine. It combines the best of a lip gloss and a lip oil. So it's basically a hybrid product. Yeah, for me, I think the packaging is the thing that is gonna kill this product for me. I actually did like the Maybelline's, like the lifter lip glosses. I actually used the one that I used to have, I used up the one that I had complete, like I used up the one that I had. I didn't rebuy it because I obviously like have like enough glosses in my collection, and I have preferred other like lip glosses, but the lifter glosses from Maybelline are actually lip glosses that I would say that if you're shopping lip glosses at a drugstore, those are good things to try out. But this one, yeah, I think it's the packaging that's really just making me think that, okay, that maybe for someone else this is like a good product to try, and if you are looking this kind of hybrid product between a oil and a gloss, then maybe yes. But for me, packaging is a no, and also looking at the shades, it seems to be quite of a, what I would say, generic range of gloss shades. There is like this minty color, but I doubt that the minty color actually shows up that minty on your lips, because it's a more of a see-through formula. But yeah, when is this gonna be available? Coming soon on their website and retailers. I think this is first gonna be launching in the US, and then probably it's gonna take some time before it comes to Europe. So this is coming soon if you're interested in this one, but for me, I think the packaging and also the shade range is just not something that I am interested in. Those were the launches I had to discuss for this week. Comment down what were your top launches from the new makeup releases. If you liked this video, push the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell button if you want to get notifications from our future content. You can also find me with the same nickname, Makeup Hedgehog, on Instagram. I hope I'm going to see another video. Bye bye!